There is still a large police presence here outside of the Kenosha County Courthouse, and this morning we're getting a clearer picture of that overnight damage that happened here in the city. Take a look at this. There are several garbage trucks that were strategically placed in the area to block the roadway outside of the courthouse, and as you can see, those trucks are completely charred. All that remains is the metal frame of those garbage trucks and some other trucks that are also here in this area. You can see the windows are smashed here, glass all across the ground, and then across the courthouse, what we have here is a line of police officers that are still lining outside of the courthouse. On the courthouse building, you can see graffiti, and there are several windows in the courthouse that were also smashed and damaged overnight. Now, this all stems out of frustration, anger, and outrage over last night's officer-involved shooting. I want to show you this video. This is the video of the alleged incident that was circulating on social media, and we do want to warn you, it's graphic and may be difficult to watch. Around 5 p.m. yesterday, police were called out to a domestic incident near 28th and 40th Street. A man identified as 29-year-old Jacob Blake is seen in a white shirt walking away from officers heading towards the driver's side of a vehicle, and that's when he was shot by police. Several shots can be heard in that cell phone video. Now, Blake was taken to the hospital by Flight for Life, and we've been told this morning he is in serious condition. We have asked the hospital for an update, but we were told that update could not be provided to us at this time. Now, a woman who identified herself as Blake's fiance says their children were inside the vehicle during this shooting and witnessed the incident. And following that shooting overnight, violence erupted in the downtown Kenosha area. Some people looted businesses, several vehicles were set on fire, and smashed several squad cars. Now, police deployed tear gas to a crowd to try to get things under control, and right now things seem to have settled. Although there are officers out here in riot gear, those are the only people that are out here this morning. There are no other protesters or rioters out here this morning, just the officers. You can see some of the officers are even laying down on those steps leading up to the courthouse. So things seem to have settled down this morning. The officers involved in the shooting have been placed on administrative leave, which is standard procedure for an incident like this. We were told the Department of Justice is investigating the shooting, and they hope to have a full report to prosecutors within the next 30 days.
All right, 30 days, okay? A report in 30 days. There's two parts to this story, right? There's the actual video of the shooting and what happened that led up to that, and then there's the reaction to the video that goes viral of the shooting. So let's start with the first part, which is the shooting itself. And Donald, everyone here has seen the video. We're not showing it over and over here on Court TV, but what did you see in the video, and what questions do you have about what happened there?
Thank you, Vinny, for forming the question like that. What I saw made my stomach sick. You know, it looks like, something that went bad, but I can't jump to conclusions. The things that we do know about this in this very short clip is there was a call of a domestic dispute. And you can see that the officers had this gentleman under control at some point, and a crowd was gathering. Then he breaks free from them. He's not obeying their commands, and there's a desperate attempt to restrain him. He's grabbing the T-shirt while holding a gun at the same time. The door opens, and next thing you know, a tragic shooting takes place in front of children. It doesn't look good, but there's way too many questions to answer before we could jump to conclusions. For example, was this an accidental shooting? The officer might have been using really bad tactics, and having that gun out like that is unusual unless they knew that there was something going on in a very violent way to have the gun drawn on a domestic dispute. But likewise, this might have been a situation where he could have been grabbing for something, or they thought that they heard people saying there's a gun in the car, or what was happening before this. So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And, Vinny, I think that due process requires, for the benefit of all of us, that we get these questions answered with a good investigation by the Department of Justice before we start burning down buildings and things of that nature. Bad shootings, bad cops are always going to be around. We're not going to tear down the entire country every time there's misconduct on the part of officers. And so I think that, it's kind of hypocritical that we're not giving these incidents a full investigation before we start taking to the streets.